Ian Banky.
I'm Chaz Firestone.
I'm Anthony Butler.
Chris Marcoux.
Frank Jackson.
Ross Hennessy.
Steve Carr.
Edward Scissorhands Berberick.
Purple belt at the Manchester Bushido Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu School.
I'm a blue belt under Brad Wolfson at Soulcraft Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
I'm a brown belt under Marcelo Garcia in New York City.
I'm a purple belt under Professor Brad Wolfson and Master Marcio Stambowski.
I'm a brown belt under Jason Bell at Gracie Farmington Valley.
I'm a purple belt at Bushido Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
I'm a 3-stripe blue belt under J Bell at Gracie Farmington Valley.
I am a brown belt under Brad and Marcio Stambowski, along with being the announcer for the New England Submission Challenge.
I competed in the blue belt, 140 to 155 pound weight class.
I competed at white belt, lightweight, under 155.
I did 3 of the submission challenges, 2 as a blue belt, 1 as a purple belt.
Gi and no gi in every other one except for the last one.
I've done both gi and no gi.
Both gi and no gi in the 130 to 139 pound divisions.
Both gi and no gi did very well. Won 2, lost 2.
I won both matches by armbar.
My matches went well. In the gi, I got to the finals, and then I lost in the finals and took silver. And then in no gi, my first round match was a rematch of the finals in gi, and I lost again. But I had a great time.
My matches, I don't think I won any of them. All my matches as a blue belt were very tough. Good matches, fun, lots of fun. My purple belts all ended quickly.
I got silver in no gi and bronze in the gi divisions.
They went really well, actually. You had that intensity of a regular tournament, but at the same time you had that kind of like laid backness because you knew all the people.
The competitors at the Submission Challenge are all very respectful of one another. Simply competitors that wanted to test their skill against one another in a submission-based challenge.
It was cool as a white belt when I competed. I felt like the tournament and the competitors there really supported me. I was definitely a little bit nervous, and it was nice to have kind of family atmosphere.
We have what I would consider almost like an in-house tournament feel due to the level of respect and concern and love that we all have for each other as a extended family.
Definitely in my division, very friendly. You know, I was approached before both my matches. You know, we talked a little bit. It was really good.
If I didn't know everybody that I fought in this tournament, I knew them afterwards, and I still know them to this day, and a lot of them I end up actually training with now. They've become training partners.
My fellow competitors were great people. I got to know them. In fact, the competitor who beat me in the finals in gi and then in the first match again in no gi is a friend of mine now. And I felt that way with all the people I competed with. They all seemed very nice and like they would be great future training partners.
This was probably the most friendly competition I've ever been to as far as how the interactions between each competitor went.
Competitive, you know, but no one's trying to kill each other. Everyone's just there to test their own skills.
The guy wasn't trying to kill me. You know, we were talking to each other throughout the match a little bit. You know, smirking at each other. So it wasn't. You know, it was very competitive, but at the same time there was a little bit of a laid backness to it.
Everyone's cheering each other on, you know, coaching each other, congratulating each other, you know, talking, laughing, having a good time. It's really, really fun.
The level of friendliness that happens at these tournaments, it has nothing to do with the level of competitiveness.
I've definitely had some tough guys I've gone against. There's been some real challenges, but I've also had some of the best performances I've ever had in the sport.
Yeah, it really makes you push yourself. It makes you look for a dominant position. It makes you really think through combinations and, you know, try to win.
My favorite part of competing was getting to test myself and also getting to train jiu-jitsu with new people who I wouldn't otherwise know.
I think my favorite part would be the rules, to be honest with you.
Going for submissions as opposed to points and draining the clock to win is a much more satisfying competition experience.
Time limit is longer, obviously 15 minutes to submit your opponent. You don't get points for takedown or sweep or get mount. You know, the only way to win is by submission.
There's some competitors come in that are used to playing for advantages, playing for a single point and install. Some of those guys are not doing well, and it shows the difference in jiu-jitsu where it's submission focused versus point focused.
I think this rule set really allowed you to just play the normal game you play in the gym. That was the feel of the roles in my matches. It felt like just sort of a hard role in the gym.
I think it made it more realistic fight-wise and a little more fun to watch and to be a part of, to not worry about a slow stalling game.
Much more flowiness at the submission only tournament. You know, more going on per match, I would say. less stalling basically.
You're testing your skills as a competitive jiu-jitsu player against someone else solely based on your ability to submit the other person. You're not testing your ability to play a system to gain points and win after a certain time frame has elapsed.
You'll see a guy get his mount, settle a guy down, but then actually go for a choke or actually go for an armbar, which is why jiu-jitsu is cool. Stalling is why we can't get it on television.
When you get into the finals, there's no time limit.
I really appreciate the fact that in the New England Submission Challenge, the final match is untimed.
I had one that went for an hour, 18 minutes.
Two guys are out there grinding it out, trying to win and beat one another for over an hour.
For an hour, 18 minutes.
It was quite impressive, and everybody was very supportive of their match.
Very professional, very safe.
As far as the safety of the tournament, I feel like the referees are very attentive to each match.
They have some very knowledgeable refs. A lot of them are brown and black belts or even run their own schools.
Paying close attention to the positions the competitors are in and keeping everyone's safety as top priority by, number one, banning certain high-risk moves such as heel hooks and scissor sweeps, and paying close attention to whether or not a competitor is tapping.
One of the competitors went out or went unconscious, and within 3, maybe 4 seconds, there was med staff right there attending to them. That's not something you see at a lot of the bigger tournaments, which is pretty cool. You know, I've watched competitors laying on the mat for minutes at a time before they get actual medical attention. So the fact that there was someone on them right away was really cool to see.
I've seen competitors have to scream tap because the referee wasn't paying as close attention. So I very much appreciate the attentiveness of the referees at the New England Submission Challenge.
The refs recognize the dangerous positions, and I didn't see anyone get hurt.
I was fortunate enough to win a medal. It's a silver medal. It's hung up in my office, and I'm proud of it. And it was a great prize.
I think the medals that they give out are perfect for the tournament.
It's not really why we're there, but you know, it's always nice to have something you can take home with you.
I thought they were really cool, actually. I really like the how they have that Helio Gracie quote on the back.
They look a little like this.
This is what the gold medal looks like. So it's a nice little memento that you can hang on to remember your experience at the New England Submission Challenge.
So the New England Submission Challenge is a well-ran tournament.
Seemed to be a very well-run tournament, you know. I wasn't standing around waiting a lot, you know. Seemed very well-run.
All the bracketing is done and on the board. The announcers calling everything out. The announcers calling you up to the podium for awards. So the awards moves fast. The brackets move fast.
The whole tournament has run great.
And the overall tournament as a whole is it's very well put on.
Things definitely ran smoothly. I wasn't waiting around for hours for my match.
The timeline is great. You know, the schedule that they keep is pretty tight. You know, as far as who goes when, and keep everything running pretty smoothly. So they really know what they're doing there.
You know who you're fighting before you actually show up is a very, very convenient.
I personally, as the announcer, take great pains to pronounce people's names correctly and give proper respect to the gym, where they're from, their coach, and people like that.
It's nice for the weigh-ins though, you get to just walk right in and weigh in without your gi. So making weight was very easy.
The prize for the absolute division is pretty substantial too.
And I think that the New England Submission Challenge is a nice way to show people from around the area what we're really about, and the quality of the tournament, the way it's run, and the time that everybody has at the tournament, I think is what is making us grow. And, you know, people are starting to see why submission only was something that we all pushed for so hard for so long.
New England Submission Challenge is by far my favorite tournament to compete in.